I wish I was at the other end of the earth. Why not? I need a vacation. Why not a trip around the world? In the fall of 1888, I burst into Cockrell's office and presented the proposal to break a world record for global travel. I wanted to beat Jules Verne's character, Phileas Fogg, in his book Around the World in 80 Days.
And you were initially met with a no?
We must send a man for this journey. A man can travel without a protector. A lady, especially a lady of the late 1800s, cannot travel without a protector. How would she find her way? Even if it were possible, she would have way too many trunks that it would detain her from making any rapid changes. Very well. Start the man, and I'll start the same day for another newspaper and beat him. Thus, the race against time began. They asked if I could be ready the day after tomorrow. My heart skipped a beat, and I said I could be ready this very minute. I did not travel with numerous trunks as suggested. I only took one piece of hand luggage and a few select items. That poor shop owner at Gormley. I walked in. He had the most fashionable dresses and ordered a handmade traveling gown to withstand 3 months of wear, needed in 12 hours. He began to protest, I can't do it. But I have always believed that nothing is impossible if you apply a certain amount of energy in the right direction. So I said, if you want to do it, you can do it. The question is, do you want to do it?
It seems like that could be your mantra for life.
I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to do it. My start was rocky. I had a horrible case of seasickness. And she's supposed to travel the world? I started my trip abroad in London, and I even stopped in Paris to meet with Jules Verne himself to discuss the trip. What I didn't know was at that same time, Cosmopolitan had entered Elizabeth Bisland in the race, competing her against myself without my knowledge. I then went to Italy, Egypt, Colombo, and it was then in Colombo, while waiting for the Oriental to take me to Hong Kong, that a kind stranger told me about the race with Bisland. I received no letters or cables from the world about this. I quickly responded, well, I told the world I would make it around in 75 days. And if I accomplished that, I'd be satisfied. The newspapers pitted us against each other. I didn't know anything about this, nor did I ever consider her a rival. But can you imagine the amount of pressure suddenly heaped upon me by a stranger?
That was a shocking revelation when you were already under pressure. How did you take it?
I vowed that if I failed, I would never return to New York. I would rather go in dead and successful than alive and behind time.
Well, I'm glad fate was on your side. You did manage to make up time when the Oriental arrived, but what happened with the bill of health outside of San Francisco?
Yes. On January 20th, the Oceanic was in sight of San Francisco and everything seemed bright. I had a surge of hopefulness until a crew member shouted, "My God, we forgot the bill of health. No bill of health means we have to await travel of the document on the next ship from Japan. Not expected for another 2 weeks." I was barely making time, and I simply, under duress, threatened quietly to myself that I was going to cut my throat. Just so happened that on a second, more thorough search of the boat, they were able to produce the bill of health, and McGinty and I were able to leave the ship.
Who's McGinty?
Oh, he's a pet monkey of mine. I picked him up along the way, so yes, I traveled halfway around the world with a pet monkey.
And you completed your mission on January 25th, 1890. 72 days.
Yes, I was thrilled, and the crowds that came out were remarkable. I traveled just over 56 days with nearly 16 days lost in delays. 72 total.
What was your biggest takeaway?
I am indebted to so many people. Every kind act and thought kept me going. I cannot begin to express gratitude for the chain of people in many countries who supported me along the way.